So,
what's the
next
next
question is what values do you bring
from your family
into
the
your
marriage? Let's see.
Well, as we all know, Nigerians are strict. We're militant. We have the humbleness, the respect, and we have the obedience and the structure. But we don't have freedom. Now, as far as hers, she has best of both worlds. She has Nigerian and she's half Nigerian, half African American.
Yes,
African Americans, they're about do what you want. We'll support you. We love you any way you turn out.
Yeah. And so it's like structured freedom.
Structured freedom.
So that's where, well, in a sense, yeah, because I grew up in an American household, and I got a little bit of structure, like, when I turned, like, 18, like, as far as, like, doing it a certain way. But as far as, like, our children, like, we're going to take that with our family. Like, we're going to take what he learned.
All the positives.
All the positives.
We're going to mesh them together.
And
all the negatives.
My positives, and we're going to...
No more negatives.
So it's like more so our children are going to get, like, everything that we didn't have.
They're going to be super kids.
Yes, super kids. That's what he always says. So that's what we're going to do. Do you think it's important?
Do you think we listen to one another?
Oh.
No.
We're getting better.
We are getting better. But to be honest with you, no. We ain't perfect. We are not perfect.
I'm learning to get this whole...
Obviously, you just saw I used the word ain't. But we are not perfect. So I want people to understand, just because it looks nice on Facebook and it looks nice on Twitter...
We ain't painting the picture.
Doesn't mean the stuff is perfect.
Because as soon as we take that picture, we...
But sometimes it's not perfect. Sometimes we be fighting and we take a picture, it looks nice, and we're like, it's a nice picture.
So we did that, and that's what it is. That's one, we're learning to, like, I'm actually, like, now, I'm not just doing it from the whole mental aspect. I'm doing it from, like, more of a spiritual aspect now, reading, like, different women in the Bible, and, like, just learning submission. Like, I don't see him now as just, like, oh, my boyfriend. I look at him like I respect him, like, as my future husband.
Yeah, and I respect her as my future wife.
And it's beautiful.
Even now, you can see I always, when it's time to do something, I usually I do things on my own. You know what I'm saying? I just do what I gotta do. But it's like, okay, let me find out what she thinks.
Yeah, considering the other person.
Now, she don't like it, then I turn to reconsider it. Back in the day, I had nobody to talk to, so I do whatever I want, when I wanted, however I want.
So it's like now you're just like you're accountable to someone. So.
Right. So it's pretty good. Yeah. It's nice. It's nice to have a partner.
It's beautiful. Gosh.
Now, next question. Do you think it's important to know one another's physical and mental health histories? Whoo! I didn't see the mental part of that. I saw the health histories earlier, but not the mental.
You can say I'm crazy?
We both are.
Okay.
We both have our thingamajiggers, is what I'll call them.
Oh, but we talk about
you really cannot even label that.
Your knee is really like, oh, yeah, thank you.
Oh, that's not my knee.
I mean, that's your knee, your elbow. But as far as like with the whole mental, we talked about physical injuries. I mean, physical.
Yes, physical
health histories.
Yes.
Histories in the beginning.
Yeah, we're both blood type. We're both O positive blood type.
Yeah, we talk about crazy stuff like that.
We both have scoliosis.
Yes.
I actually have a sickle cell trait.
I just found that out earlier, y'all. I swear I did not know he had a sickle cell trait.
Yeah, so I'm immune to malaria, and then my mother's immune to some other thing other things I really don't know.
Yeah,
per se, I gotta figure that out.
I
think one of them is hay fever and strep throat, something like that.
So it's good to talk about those things in the beginning. Like, you don't just talk about, oh, I love you, boo. Yeah, you love me too. Like, you gotta talk about everything.
Yeah,
everything. Credit score, love.
Well, I don't know about the credit score.
Why not? We did talk about that. We talked about that.
Yeah, but that didn't really matter.
It does. It does matter.
I didn't think it mattered because even if she had $1 million in debt, I was ready to pay.
See, he's that kind of guy. So do you think it's okay?
How are you making it work? Seeing as one lives in New York and one lives in Michigan. Woo!
That was the hardest thing ever.
Can you say hard?
Hard.
Can you say difficult?
Difficult.
Can you say stressful?
Stressful.
I mean, like, it was to the point where we used to fight, like, every day.
It was so bad. I'm telling you, I was saying earlier, I said it was one point in time where I was literally like, you know what, listen, we're not going to make it.
Man.
I was like, let's just cut it off right here.
It was to the point where it was getting too reckless and we had to stop ourselves.
Yeah,
like, okay.
It's not good. It opens the door for so many bad things.
Yeah, so many bad things.
Like we were connected, like, on a phone, but I was like, you know what, this is just a phone relationship. Like, I was like, I don't know you. I was like, you know what, we might as well just cut it off. Yes. Let's call the marriage off. I was like, let's just...
It opens the door for a lot of insecurities. It opens the doors for a lot of jealousy. It opens the doors for cheating.
Yeah, it was just
not
bad.
Talking physical. I'm talking mental, emotional.
It was just
like
bad.
You may not be cheating on your significant other physically, like having sex with another person.
The devil will just come in there. That's all.
But you would be feeling some type of connection to somebody else who you confide in.
Yeah.
And you confide in this person.
It could be just a friend.
Right,
it could be a friend.
Yeah, they can be a friend, and on both parts, it can be a friend because they want to listen to your problems so that they can, ease their way in.
So that's why December 17th, he decided to move
to Michigan.
Yes,
which was one of the hardest things I ever had to do.
Ooh. That's another situation.
It was a big fight, but that's a whole nother video. We're not going to go to all that right now.
How do you think your spouse sees you? I think me personally, I see him as a strong growing man of God. And before it used to be like, I had this perception of, oh, my man has to be this and he has to be that. But it's just like, it was like more so like me, I had this thing of what a man was supposed to be. But it's like, now that God has given me something, it's like, he fits me so perfectly. Like, I see him as a strong, intelligent man that just has so much potential, and it's like almost like was put in a box for so long, and it's like now it's just like you're smiling so hard, and it's like he's now at this place where he's just like, I'm actually seeing him evolve into something that I just knew that he had the possibilities to become. So I love it. It's such a
my thumb is weird.
See, you making me all stutter. Okay, it was like such a beautiful experience. It was a very beautiful experience. How do you see me, boo? It is a beautiful How do you see me, boo?
That's one thing I don't like being called boo. I'm nobody's boo. Right? Nobody's boo.
Okay. So
anyway, as far as her, I always saw potential from the beginning. That's one of the reasons why I stuck around. Mm-hmm. Because I saw her as a woman of extreme... How can I say? She just had the potential to be a great woman. Mm-hmm. And I saw that in her. But she didn't see it. But I saw it.
No, I didn't. Not in the beginning.
That's why, I stuck around. When you see something... It's like when somebody knows the value of something, like, an old baseball card, and you see it, you're like, wow, this is going to be worth some money in a few years. You don't want to let that go. Same thing. You see somebody in a rawest form, but you can also see what they have the potential to be.
Okay.
You're like, you know what? I'm going to stick around. I'm going to push for it. And that's what I did. Mm-hmm. She's a beautiful woman. Everybody sees that. Mm-hmm. She's pretty. Mm-hmm. But you can find plenty of pretty women. But can you find a woman of substance? No.
It's not that easy. It's
difficult to find.
So.
And that's what she is.
Thank
woman
you.
of substance.
Okay, so what are we doing? What is the next question?
As a couple, what do you want to obtain out of life?
Woo. Oh, so much. So much.
Well, I want to be a nurse.
I'm going to be a journalist. However, I have so many things that I love to do on the side. I would love to do landscape architecture. I would love to do public speaking. I would love to be like a relationship coach. Computers. I love computers. And what else do I love to do, Sorry? I love so many different things.
Point blank, we're both very multi-talented.
With so many things. Like he's a gymnast. He does parkour. He's good with computers. Oh my God, so many different things.
Yeah. So we both can do a lot of different things. Yeah. And
we're gonna bring it together.
Yeah, we're gonna try to run a business too. Meanwhile, outside of our careers, we're gonna try to do like a little family business type thing. It's gonna be real good.
We're not gonna try. We're gonna do it. We believe in God, and we know that.
Well, it's gonna happen. Yes. So it's gonna be popping.
Yes.
And I'm gonna eventually open me a rehab center. I want to open a rehab center with a spa. And it's gonna have a nice gym in the back too.
He's been talking about this for the longest. Okay.
It's gonna be popping.
It says, can you see yourselves with one another the next 60, 70 years from now?
Yeah, we're gonna live to be 120.
Okay.
Well, okay. But we're gonna live
For a while.
For a long time.
We pray.
Together.
So it's I can truly. Yes. I think about it all
the
time.
See it.
I can see. I think. About
I mean,
it
even though she does get on my nerve at times, but
and he get on my nerves too. Every time somebody asks me, "Are you ready to get married?" The first thing I say is,
"Yes." But he
get on my nerves. But I love him. This is my heart.
And she gets on my nerves too. She gets on my nerves more than I get on hers.
And I tell him I love him like 100 times a day.
Yes, she does.
Okay. As a couple, no wait. What is your image of God?
God is eternal. God is the Trinity. He is God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
And we love him so much. We love him so much. Because we're so thankful.
Without him, ain't nothing going on.
Ain't nothing.
Sorry.
You see him taking up all my shine?
Ouch.
Oh, sorry.
I was sitting on my wallet.
Sorry.
Anyway, as far as God goes, no, ain't gonna stop nothing. As far as God goes, He is the Alpha and the Omega.
He's like at the core of our relationship. That's why we're growing so much now. Like every day I'm like, Lord, how are we doing this? How? And it's just like I just be like, thank you so much, Lord. You're so grateful. You're so grateful. And I love him so much. So yeah.
Next question: do you think faith and spirituality are important in a marriage? Well, duh. That's what we talk about the whole time.
That's the foundation of everything. Before I used to be like we used to be on the internet reading articles like how I can make my relationship better, how I can become a better
all that
man.
does is push pressure on each other for no reason.
He used to change. I used to change for like one day, and the next day I was like, "What happened? We read the article last night. Oh, we ain't changed.
It don't do nothing for you."
And then, like all of a sudden, it's just and it's like now it's like we go to Bible study together, we pray together, we talk about God together, and it's like we listen to spiritual music sometimes together, and it's just like it helps us grow.
I'm not really into the spiritual music like that.
Just yet. Wait, just give me a couple more years.
No, it depends on the song. If it's not upbeat, I'm not into it. So I'm not into the.
See, leave me. I'm all about worshiping.
I don't got time for that.
Okay.
It's either praising.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay. Does your
religion play an important part of your life? Well, that's pretty much
the same thing. Yes.
The same thing. Yeah.
Big part.
Yep.
Big part.
And last question: what is the one thing that you would love to express to your spouse that they don't already know?
Ooh. You know, I like stuff like this. I'm very. You're such a loser for that. You go first.
She knows everything, so it's not really.
Well, for me, I wouldn't trade him for the world, only for God, because I love him even more. But I wouldn't trade him for the world, and like I'm learning now that the magnitude of what God designed for marriage, and it's like it makes me love you even more, and just makes me want to just be a better woman, not for myself first, because in order for me to be a better woman for him, I have to be a better woman for me. And it's just like amazing, like to know that you can still grow as a person while you're in a relationship and not be like have that person like kind of hinder you from growing. But it's like amazing because it's like I can grow as a woman but still be a great woman for him, Not saying I don't have my flaws, because trust and believe, baby girl has some flaws, but it's just like it's like a daily process to become a better woman.
People have to understand. We're human. Point blank.
That's it.
Even a celebrity is human, so all
and they still have problems.
Who like to idolize people or like to idolize others.
My leg sleep.
You need to just stop and put your faith in the Bible.
Yes.
And look to God for all answers. Because if you thinking Kim Kardashian is going to help you get a man, you way off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So that's it. And what advice would we give to anybody?
Advice is keep it going, keep it strong, and make sure that God is the head of your relationship. Otherwise, you will fall apart. You will fall apart.
And you can almost miss what God has given to you.
It's best to take your time on everything, especially you young ones. Please take your time. Take your time. You know what I mean? Because even though I understand how you guys can be in high school.
Can you rub my leg? It hurts so bad.
Or college.
Sorry, y'all.
High school or college or, wherever else that you're doing. If you decide not to go to college, but you decide you want to find love, make sure you put God first and take your time. Mm-hmm. When it comes to giving yourselves to each other, it's best to wait till marriage.
Wait till marriage.
Best to wait till marriage.
Yeah.
Because it will It will throw some complications in there.
Complications. Like, yeah, celibacy is number one. It's key.
And celibacy is very hard once you start a relationship.
Yes.
If you start a relationship and y'all already done had sex or whatever, and y'all already got that physical bond, that emotional bond, it's going to be very difficult for you to stop.
Like, I always tell people, like, you know, we didn't start with God, but we're continuing with Him and we're finishing with Him. And I thank God that we did find Him in the process, because it's just making us just better people overall. Yes, it felt better. Thank you. So, you're going to see throughout this video that we're not perfect. And the fact that we just had these little outbursts, you know, it goes to show that we're real people. And this is just who we are on a daily basis. We don't try to paint a pretty picture. We just love each other.
Yes.
I love you.
I love you more.